This is Derek Lowen, author of Domain Broker. In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to set up from unpacking the theme to uploading it to your website. So here I'm going to be using the software Dreamweaver, and it's version CS4, which I know is quite old, but if you have a later version, it'll be quite similar. So let's just start here. I have the unzipped theme folder, and I'm just going to copy it to a permanent location on my machine. On Mac, that might be your username and then sites. On PC, it might be my documents and then sites. So I have the theme folder in there, and inside you can see there's a PSD, which is the design file. There's a web files, which is the stuff we'll be working with. And there's the PDF, which is the user guide in written form. And if you're more experienced with website development, you might just want to go straight for the PDF and not bother with the tutorial. But if you'd like some more detailed instructions, then this should be for you. So let's just jump right into Dreamweaver and set up a new site. I'll go to Site, New Site, and in CS4 it does a wizard. I'd rather just go straight to it, so let's do the Advanced tab. And let's name the site. Then choose the root folder, which is where we just put the site on our computer. So for me, that's in Sites, Domain Broker Theme, Web Files. Make sure you choose the Web Files folder because that's where we're working out of. And you can also choose the Images folder if you'd like, which is just images. And I'm going to enter in the full address where I'm going to actually publish this demo site. Okay, then we'll jump over to the remote connection details, which is remote info. So I'm just going to choose FTP from the access method. If you're using a later version, you might see SFTP, which is recommended. So I'll just enter in the FTP host, and all this information is stuff you'll get from your web host. So you might have gotten an email with that information, or you can log into your control panel and check that out. Okay, and after that, I suggest you just click the test button, make sure everything's working. Okay, so it connected properly. So that's all for that. And you can press OK to get out of this site setup wizard. So now you should see all your files on the right in the file browser. So let's just open settings.php by double clicking on it and going into code view. And you can see, though it's PHP code, it's only one array. It's not too complicated here. So the first thing you'll need to edit is the site title. And you can replace yourdomain.com, of course, with your own domain. And you'll need to do that for both the site title right there and the site heading right there. So I'll just say, for the sake of editing it, test domain and test domain. And remove the template. There we go. And you can change the minimum offer here. And now it doesn't have to be a price. You could, for say, enter something like call me or something like that, or contact for details, something like that. Or you could just enter the price right in there. The next setting is site owner's email. And that's where the contact form that the people use is going to be sent to. So you'll need to enter your own email in there. I'll just do mine. And then you can enter your name. And that'll be used for the email as well. And the email subject line should be fine. All it is domain request from name, and that name brackets, you don't need to replace that. That'll be automatically replaced with whatever the user's entered in the form for their name. So the next setting is use reCAPTCHA. reCAPTCHA is that spam prevention box where you have to enter some garbled letters. So if you want to enable that, it will help to cut down spam quite a bit. So you can just change that from false to true if you want to enable reCAPTCHA. And we're just going to go over how to set up that right now. So to set up reCAPTCHA, you need both a public and a private key to communicate with the reCAPTCHA service. So we're going to go online and then going to go to search for Get reCAPTCHA. And on the reCAPTCHA site, just click Sign Up Now. And then log in. Okay, now here's where you want to enter your domain name. So in my case, I already have one for it, but I'll just do a sample just so you can see how it works. Then after you've put in your domain name, click Create Key. And it'll show you your public and private key. So just copy those both in. And then go back to Dreamweaver and paste them in the respective slots. Okay, so that's all we need to do for reCAPTCHA. Next up is Twitter, and this is a bit more complicated, unfortunately. Ever since last year, they changed their API so that you need access tokens. So what we're going to do is go to Twitter and set up our access tokens by creating an application. And don't worry, it's really not too complicated, but it does require a little bit of work. So I'm just going to search for Twitter developer. And then the first link is good. And then we'll just sign in with our Twitter account. Okay, so once you've signed in with your Twitter account, just go to the top right where your profile picture is and click My Applications. Then create a new application for this domain broker theme. And you can name it whatever you'd like to. Now these details that you enter over here won't actually be shown to the user. They're just for our connection purposes. So I'm just going to say domain broker tutorial, tutorial. And then this part is important. All you have to do is enter your website. And callback URL you can leave blank. And then it requires you to accept the terms of service. Yes, I agree. And there you go, CAPTCHA. So after that's all done, click the Create Your Twitter Application button. And with any luck, we should see, there we go. We've got an application ready to use. So here we'll need these tokens. If you go back to your file, you can see we need an access token secret, a consumer key, and a consumer key secret. It's a lot of stuff, but it's all here. So let's copy the consumer key first. Paste that in. Consumer secret is also right there. And then we need the access token and the access token secret. And we haven't created an access token yet, so we'll need to do that. At the bottom of the page, just click Create My Access Token. And it says it's been successfully created. So if you go to the OAuth tool tab, that'll show you those extra settings as well. And now we can see we have access token and access token secret. So let's just copy the access token, paste it in, copy the secret, paste it in. Okay, so that's all we need to do for settings.php. Now you can just save the file. One more thing before we upload the theme to the website, we're just going to go right back to index.php. So open that up. And you can see if you go to design view that there's a number of PHP spots. And that's just basically where the pieces from settings.php get output. The title, the offer, and so on. And one thing that you can't edit with settings.php is this more of my domains portfolio flyout. So to do that, we're going to go into the code of index.php. So switch to code view. So as you can see on line 32 to 40 is where our domain portfolio is. And each domain is listed as a list item on its own separate line. So let's say you wanted to add your own domains and you only had 3. Then you just delete these last 2 lines and go in and customize these. So let's say the first domain is my own domain. Then I just edit this to whatever I wanted the user to see. And then it also link it up. So this # is where it'll link to. So you just enter the full URL right there. So it'd be something like http://myowndomain.com. And you do that with the rest of these as well. And you can add as many as you'd like. There's really no limit. It'll just wrap around if you have a lot of text. So let's save that. And I think we're ready to upload the site at this point. So just come into your file manager here, click the top folder, and click the Put Files button. And it's going to ask you, do you want to put the entire site? Yes. And it's just going to take a little while here. Okay, looks like we're ready to take a look. So I'll just open up my web browser, and then I'll browse to where I put the site. As you can see, all the customizations we made are there. The domain title, contact for details, and the reCAPTCHA is showing, and the tweet is showing. Oh, just in case you missed it, if you go back to Dreamweaver and then settings.php, just make sure to enter your own Twitter screen name, because you might be seeing my tweets right now. So just enter your own Twitter handle, and you should see your own. If you don't have any tweets, it might come up with an error message. Just make sure you have at least one tweet in your account. So back to the site. You can see all that information is there, including the own domain right there. So that should cover all the customization to set up the domain initially. If you have more questions, feel free to contact me using my contact form on my profile page. And that's all for now.